to the max here, and as I said in the previous video, I am changing my schedule format prediction videos and doing one team at a time and going into more depth about each game. And I gave you a little preview of it and gave you the opportunity to guess what team. Well, unfortunately nobody did, but that's okay. So, if you can't tell by the thumbnail, today's team is the Chicago Bears. So, let's get started. Week 1. Wait, hang on. So, the NFC North will be playing the AFC East and the NFC West. So that means the Bears will be playing the Arizona Cardinals, the Seattle Seahawks, the Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks, Los Angeles Rams, and the San Francisco 49ers. Of course, they also play their 3 other NFC North rivals, the Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions, and Minnesota Vikings. And then, so they play the Vikings, and Packers, and Lions twice. Once in Chicago at Soldier Field, and once at their stadium. So at Ford Field, Lambeau Field, and US Bank Stadium. And then the final 2 games of the Bears schedule are made up by the 2 teams that fit in the other 2 NFC divisions, in this case the NFC East and the NFC South, who finished with the same record as the Bears. So in this case, it's the New York Giants and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the last place teams. So, again, that's the NFC North twice, once at Soldier Field and once on the road, and then the NFC West at Arizona, first home for Seattle, at Arizona, home to the Los Angeles Rams, and at the San Francisco 49ers. And then, for the AFC East, they are at the Miami Dolphins, home to the New England Patriots, or New England Cheatriots, I should say, home to the New York Jets, and at the Buffalo Bills. And then they are home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and home to and at the New York Giants. So now that you've got the premises of the Bears' schedule, let's get into it. So week 1, the Bears are on the road on primetime TV, Sunday Night Football, at Green Bay, at historic Lambeau Field, at the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, what a way to open up the season. On a slightly different note, the Browns opened the season at home against the Steelers. I think only Browns fans consider this to be a rivalry. Steelers fans do not. I don't consider Browns-Steelers to be a rivalry. However, even though the Bears have not been a very good team, and the Packers have kind of dominated the NFC North, although Minnesota has kind of dominated the past 2 years, but in general, Green Bay has kind of controlled the NFC North, and so I think, given all that, I still say that Packers-Bears is a rivalry. It's one of the oldest rivalries in the NFL. So anyway, like I said, week 1, let me run through the schedule, and then I'll go through each game. So week 1, Sunday Night Football at the Green Bay Packers on September 9th, 2018. Week 2 is the home opener for the Bears. Monday Night Football on ESPN against Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Week 3, the Bears go to the desert to take on the Larry Fitzgerald and maybe Josh Rosen and the Arizona Cardinals. Week 4, the Bears return home to take on Jameis Winston, Mike Evans, and the Chicago Bears. No, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Week 5 is the Bears' bye week. Week 6 through 9 is where it gets interesting. And you'll see what I mean. Week 6, at the Bears go down to the Sunshine State to take on the Miami Dolphins. Week 7, the Bears come home at Soldier Field to take on Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Bill Belichick, and the New England Patriots. New England Patriots. What's the difference? Week 8, they stay at home. The Bears are still at home to play the New York Jets. And week 9, the Bears go to West New York to take on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So the Bears in week 6 through 9 play 4 straight games against the AFC East, which is uncommon because in most teams' schedules, they'll play for example, the Browns play the Carolina Panthers week 15, and yet they play the Atlanta Falcons week 6 or something. I don't think I have that quite right, but you get my idea. They're not usually 4 in a row like that. So, this is unconventional for the Bears. Week 10 is another NFC North Division opponent at home against the Detroit Lions. Now, this might stir some memories because it was Lions-Bears that kind of caused the whole catch-no-catch thing. Let me see if I can find what... It involved Calvin Johnson. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on 1 second. So they call it a catch right now, right? Now they're overruling it and saying no catch. How did he not complete the catch? And that was ruled not a catch. Now it gets reviewed. And now it gets reviewed. So yeah. So that's the play that really started this whole catch, no catch thing. So that'll stir some memories. And then week 11 is another NFC North opponent, the Minnesota Vikings. And then who do they play week 12? On Thursday Night Football, they're at Detroit. So they play the Lions in two weeks with the Vikings in between. But I hate Thursday Night Football. As much as it gives good matchups and all that, let me give you an example. Houston plays Jacksonville, and you know that's going to be a tough physical game because both teams have great defenses and all that. And then on a Sunday that game happens. Then what happens? Houston has a short week to get ready for the Miami Dolphins because Houston plays Miami at home on a Thursday night. That makes no sense to me. It's just stupid. So anyway, I think they should get rid of Thursday Night Football or change it or something. It causes a lot of injuries and there's some good games like Panthers, Steelers, but I just don't like the idea. Anyway, so that's week 12. Week 12, Thursday Night Football at Detroit. Week 13, the Bears are still on the road, and they traveled to New York, actually New Jersey, to play at MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. Week 14, the Bears come home to take on the Los Angeles Rams, who went through plastic surgery this offseason. I'll talk more about that when I get to that game. Week 15, one of the best rivalries in football comes to Chicago. When that bad man, Aaron Rodgers, comes to town with the Green Bay Packers to take on the Bears. Week 16 could be a playoff battle for playoff positioning. I don't know. When the Bears go to San Francisco, more specifically Santa Clara, to take on Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. And then week 17, the Bears go up to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. And now that I've run through the schedule, let's get into more depth about each game. So week 1, at Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers will just be coming off. This will be Aaron Rodgers' first game back since he broke his collarbone last season against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. And it kept Rodgers out for the rest. I'm almost positive, it was for the rest of the season. And Brett Hundley had to start at quarterback. And thus, the Packers did not get into the playoffs, and they did not win the NFC North. And in the this offseason, they let Jordy Nelson walk, and he signed with the Oakland Raiders. And Jimmy Graham, who started his career with New Orleans, then got traded to Seattle, was a free agent this summer, and he signed with Green Bay, giving Aaron Rodgers his first true tight end in the NFL. And then I don't remember who the Packers drafted at the draft, but you know the Packers are gonna be there in the NFC North this year. It's a given. However, I think the Packers are going to have to rely heavily on their offense to score points, because I do not trust that Packers defense. Their corners are susceptible, I think, to the deep ball, and I don't think their run defense is that good. And that doesn't really bode well for the Packers, even at home against the Bears. because the Bears have the 1-2 punch of Tyreek Cohen and Jordan Howard. I would say Jordan Howard is the more physical running back of the two for the Bears. And I would say Tyreek Cohen is more of the speedster guy for the Bears. And Trubisky, I think, is going to build on the success that he had near the end of the season for the Bears, which I still can't believe they traded. They must have thought San Francisco was going to draft him with the number 2 pick in the 2017 draft, I think it was. Yeah, 2017 draft. Because they gave up a lot to San Francisco to get Trubisky, to trade up one spot from the number 3 pick to the number 2 pick with San Francisco, who again, the Bears play week 16 in San Francisco, to get Trubisky. So, and he showed signs of good signs last season. Like the game he had in Baltimore, where he was facing a ferocious Ravens defense, but he looked cool as a cucumber and stood in there. And now he's got some good wide receivers. Like he got Allen Robinson, who was a free agent signing, was with the Jaguars last year. Hopefully Kevin White gets out there for the Bears. And he's got other guys. So, even given all that, oh, and the Bears drafted Roquan Smith from Georgia. I believe he's a middle linebacker. Speaking of middle linebacker, Brian Urlacher, congratulations to Brian Urlacher. He just went into the Hall of Fame this year. One of the best middle linebackers I've ever seen to play the game. And he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. So, given that this game is in Green Bay, and that it's on prime time, I gotta give that game to the Packers. So, that means the Bears are 0-1. Week 2. As I said, the Bears are at home, taking on Monday Night Football, taking on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, in the past, I would have said the Seahawks are easily going to win this game. But now, I'm not so sure. Yes, the Seahawks have Doug Baldwin and Russell Wilson, but they just drafted a rookie at running back in Rashad Penny, and they don't really have a good tight end. And the Seahawks offensive line is terrible. Pretty much Russell Wilson is always scrambling for his life. So I'm going to give the Bears the win. So 1-1. Going into their week 3 matchup in the desert at Arizona. Now, the Cardinals are interested because they signed Sam Bradford, but then they trade up in this year's draft to take Josh Rosen, the quarterback from UCLA. So, I think no rookie has started for the Cardinals at quarterback since 1968, I want to say. I might be a little bit off on that, but it's around that time. And I don't think Rosen will be starting for the Cardinals. I think it's going to be Bradford. And I think Bradford actually fits with what the Cardinals want to do. He's the type of quarterback that Larry Fitzgerald will love to play with, because even though Bradford's had some injury problems, I think he's a decent quarterback, and he fits Larry Fitzgerald's skill set. But the Cardinals lost Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, and I'm not sure how they're going to replace him. But they do get David Johnson back this season. However, I think the Bears will actually surprise people because I bet people are picking Arizona to win this game because the Cardinals are at home. But even though the Bears will have to go cross country for this game, I think Chicago wins it, and they move to 2-1. Week 4, the Bears come home to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers, I believe Jameis Winston is suspended the first 4 weeks of the season. And even though they have Mike Evans, they don't really have anybody else. So I think the Bears win that game. And they start the season 3-1 going into their bye week, which is week 5. Week 6, at the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins have Ryan Tannehill. I'll wait to see if you can tell me who else they have that's really good. Nobody. They traded Jarvis Landry to the Browns. They traded Jay Ajayi last season to the Super Bowl 52 champion Philadelphia Eagles. And Ndamukong Suh went to the Rams. I don't see who else the Bears have or Dolphins have. So Bears win that game, 4-1. Week 7, they come home to take on the New England Patriots. I'm not even going to talk about this game, really. I think the Bears' defense isn't ready for the Patriots. 4-2. Week 8, the Bears take on another rookie quarterback at home, Sam Darnold, who many people thought was going to be the number 1 overall pick. However, the Browns took Baker Mayfield. So Darnold ended up being drafted by the Jets at number 3. So, and I think Sam Darnold is actually going to play well this game, but the Jets don't have a lot. They've been a last place team for so long, and the Jets might have a decent offense with Darnold at quarterback, and they have a decent defense, but no. So I think the Bears beat them 7-2. Week 9, at Buffalo. Another rookie quarterback, Josh Allen. I think the fact that it's in Buffalo makes the difference, and the Bills win that game. So 7-3. I think I have that right. No, week 1 at Green Bay, lose. Week 2, home to Seattle, win, so 1-1. At Arizona, win, 2-1. Home to Tampa Bay, 3-1. At Miami, 4-1. New England, 4-2. New York, 5-2. Buffalo, 5-3. I don't know where I got 7. No, Buffalo 5-3. So, home for Detroit. I think the Lions are a sneaky good team, and I think they'll win this game. So, 5-4. And then Minnesota. I think that the Vikings defense is just too strong. The Bears aren't quite ready for that. Kirk Cousins is going to throw it to Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen all over the yard. I think the Vikings win that game, dropping the Bears to 5-5. Week 12, Thursday night football at Detroit. Given that the Bears will have just played a very physical Vikings defense in week 11, I think the Lions win this game and sweep the Bears, moving the Bears' record to 5-6. But the Bears bounce back in week 13 at New York. I just think the Giants don't really have anything. Yes, they have Odell Beckham Jr. and Saquon Barkley and Evan Ingram and Sterling Shepard, but I just don't see it. So I think the Bears move to 6-6. Week 14, the LA Rams. Now, as I said, the Rams went through plastic surgery. They added Brandon Cooks. They added Aqib Talib. They added Marcus Peters. And the Rams had the number one offense, and they won the NFC West. But did they make too many changes to their roster where they're not going to be as good of a deep offense this season, where they might be susceptible on defense? I don't know. But regardless, I think the Rams are going to be a good team again this season. Oh, the Rams also added in Ndamukong Suh. I almost forgot that. And I think that the Rams beat them and put the Bears at 6-7. Week 15, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers come to town. Now, in 2014, in Week 17, the Bears hosted the Packers with the opportunity to win the NFC North. Both teams, one of the two teams was going to win it. And unfortunately, Green Bay beat them and won the NFC North. Then, in 2010, the Packers went to Chicago for the NFC North, or for the NFC Championship game. Winner played the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl 45 in Dallas. President Obama said that if the Bears won, he would go to the Super Bowl to watch the Bears. He said he would not go to the Super Bowl if the Packers won. Well, Obama didn't get to go to the Super Bowl because the Packers won, and they went on to win the Super Bowl, so the Packers got to go visit Obama anyway. I think the Bears actually, and this might surprise you, but I think the Bears beat the Packers this year and split with the Packers. Week 16, so that moves them to 7-7. Yeah, 7-7. So week 16 at San Francisco. I think the 49ers are going to win this game because the Bears' defense, although it's good, I don't think it's enough to slow down Jimmy Garoppolo. So 8-7 for the Bears. No, 7-8 for the Bears now. And at Minnesota, I think the Bears finish 7-9. Because I don't think the Bears, although the Vikings might be resting players. So I think the Bears are actually going to win this game and will finish the year 8-8, which is an improvement from last season. So there you have it. That's my Chicago Bears NFL schedule prediction video. If you liked this video, punch that like button in the face like a UFC fighter. And if you enjoyed this video, punch that subscribe button. Also, leave comments in the comment section below if you agree with my analysis of a game, if you don't agree with a prediction I made about the Bears, about a game on the Bears schedule, or the record I predict for the Bears, which again is 8-8. Because again, I like interacting with you, the viewers, and you, the subscribers. That's what really drives this channel. So, comment in the comment section below if you agree with, whether you agree with me or if you disagree. It doesn't matter. I want you guys to comment. You, the subscribers, and you, the viewers, to comment. So, I'm not sure who the next team will be to go under the microscope, but until next time, this is Unger to the Max, signing off.